and I do Tai Chi, and I want to teach the world Tai Chi. So I thought I might as well come onto YouTube more often, do some free live sessions, and set up a schedule. But today, it's been a real stressful week for me, so I want us to practice some cloud hands, which is a technique to go ahead and relax a lot of what relax the stress from our bodies that we carry. So I'm gonna fix the camera just real quickly because it's at a weird angle a little bit. Let's do that here. All right, so for cloud hands, what we're going to do is we want to make sure that we're in our feet facing forward 45 first, but then I'm going to turn just out here. So from here, I'm going to bend my knees. Oh, my feet need to go a little further. So this is called Mabu, or horse stance. Now, when we do cloud waving in Tai Chi, we want you to stay relaxed. So when we do this technique, one thing you can do is if your legs start to burn, you come up a little higher and you do the technique in a higher stance. So there's the classical chin, big, deep stances, or you can do more of a Wu style Tai Chi where it's closer here. Give me 2 seconds, I'll be right back. All right, let's do this. All right, so I'm going to start feet out. Now, to start, I'm going to go ahead and put one hand on my right hip. My left arm is going to start out here. I'm going to drop my left arm down. As I come down past my hip here, I'm going to turn my left hip with my palm here into a bow stance. This also closes my hip into this leg here. Now the hand's going to come up 45 degrees with the palm facing our face here. Now I'm going to turn, opening the back hip, my left side, closing the right side as we get to here, stretching and pushing into the hip here. When I do that, this palm is going to turn over sideways here. Now the arm's going to drop, and I follow the movement of the arm. Turn, up, and scoop. Look at myself in the mirror, and palm forward. Good. We drop, scoop, rotate, rotate, hand comes up, and then we turn. Palm. Good. Once you start getting this motion down, you start making it a little smoother. You get a little more centered here. Yeah. So it drops. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good. Now, what about this hand? We're just keeping it right here. Why don't we engage this hand too? So now we drop. And when I drop, this elbow bends down here. This hand is going to come up here. Now, this hand doesn't actually drop until the wrist comes up or the fingers come up and pass the wrist here. That's when this hand will start to drop down. Then now we have our mirror and our right hand. So we look at ourselves in the mirror, turn our body bow, and then this hand starts to push out. As this hand pushes out, this hand will raise up, brush the wrist here, but you don't actually touch. You come up and brush and turn. Push, up, turn, push forward. 1, 2, 3. Again, if this is too much for the legs, I want you to come up higher. In Wu style Tai Chi, a lot of the times we don't even sink down into the big stances because we're doing everything internal. So when I'm here, I can do it this way. 1, 2, and we relax the whole time. What this teaches us is to move without using force. We want to use as little muscle as possible and engage the tendons to hold ourselves up and push. There's also things like projection. As every movement, I'm projecting the way I think about it is there's a little person, me, my astral form is moving 1 inch to 6 inches in front of me. So my astral form is moving before my arm actually moves. I project my chi and move. Good. Now, with Kung Fu and Tai Chi, because Tai Chi is a martial art, it's a form of Wushu, it's a form of Kung Fu. It's an internal style. Now, there are applications where you go, move, and you trap, right? You can trap their arm and throw, which is really cool. But when we do this, when we practice it, there's a reason we practice slow. When we practice slow, I feel every little motion. I think and I feel internally, and I think about what is happening. Like right here, boom, this is a perfect spot, perfect example. So there's a little tension point right here, right behind my shoulder blade. So what I do here, how do I get that to go away? I'm going to pause right here and I'm going to relax and think about that little tension point just melting away. And then I continue to move. Finding little points of tension is an excellent practice, and then you work on relaxing them. So when I move one, right there, see, there's the tension again. I work on relaxing it. And now this time when I do the movement, I'm going to think about keeping that entire area relaxed through the movement and see if my muscles don't tense again. Yeah, that time was much better. Nice and soft. Feel the tension points. Feel the creaking. Feel the little bit of grinding that you'll feel. And as we work these out, as we do it more, those grinding feelings disappear. The joints loosen, they lubricate, the tendons stretch, and then they release. Good, but how do we close up? Because we're just waving our hands in the air, which is great. This is what we want to do. But how do we close? So from here in Wu style Tai Chi, we normally go into single whip. So from here, when I push out, now this hand's going to come up as it brushes the wrist point here. I'm going to hook. And so as I go here, I hook and I follow the mirror again. Now from here, I'm opened up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close just a, well, I'm sorry. I'm closing up a little bit here. I'm going to open up, push into my stance. Good, let's do that again. So from here, one, I turn. Right hand's going to palm as the left hand scoops up. I brush the wrist here, scoop, open, press. All right, perfect. So that is how we get out of cloud waving here into single whip. Then from here, you can just go forward, cross your arms, and push down. All right, I'm going to check the comments here real quick. I see we had a couple. I think he wants to slap his own butt, probably. He got a slap. Is anyone following this? Maybe. No, I think what's even the purpose of all this butt slap anyway? So this is Tai Chi. Tai Chi is, I'm going too fast. That's okay. Uh, you don't know what you're talking about. Tai Chi is a practice, right? It's a form. It's a martial art. You can use it as meditation. There's so many different benefits. I'm not even going to get into this. I've been doing Wu style Tai Chi for the last 15 years. 15 years. So no, I'm not just making this up, but that's funny. So when Wu style, what we're doing is we're working on a specific technique called cloud hands. So when I drop, this is cloud hands here. Most styles have their own version of cloud hands. There's Wu style, Chin style, Yang style, just to name three of the most popular. You have different versions of cloud hands too. You have moving cloud hands, which where you start here, you move here, one, you step, and when you step here, you turn and throw. So it's a form of Chinese martial arts. That's what Tai Chi is. And we're working on cloud hands. Oh, this butt slap. That's funny. Cool. All right, so that's cloud hands. I'm going to go ahead and teach you one more little drill here that we can do. It's called Tai Chi walking. Now, Tai Chi walking, I like to do the Tai Chi walk with a brush knee palm. And in the Tai Chi walk, what we're working on is keeping stable. Now, this is why a lot of people who have weaker legs or loose, how do I say this? As you get older, your muscles atrophy. So sometimes you start losing balance and stuff like that. So this is an excellent drill on how to make sure you're staying balanced and building tendon muscles to keep you balanced. So I'm going to start with my feet just outside shoulder width. Now I'm going to shift all my weight to my right side, putting all my weight down into my foot. From here, I'm going to pick up my heel, then my toe, bring my foot to my ankle. I kick out, then I reach out to the side and press my heel down. This stance right here is called 7-star stance. Now to Tai Chi walk, because this is our starting position, I'm going to first put my foot down flat. Now I'm going to shift my weight to the center here. This is called neutral stance. Now once I get neutral, I push my knee just over my shin and I straighten the back leg, pushing myself into what's called plow oxen. It's a leaning bow stance. I'll explain why we have the lean here in just a moment. Now, to continue the walk, we're going to bend the back knee. This puts our weight more forward. As we start to shift our weight forward, now all my weight is on my left leg. I lift the heel, the toe, brush the ankle, kick out, step out, toe up, and heel down. Then from here, I go flat foot, move to neutral, push with the back leg to plow oxen, and I bend the back leg one more time, and I make it all smooth as a continuous walk. All right, perfect. Now, let's do this at a side. That way you can see kind of exactly what I'm doing here. So I'm going to go kind of at a 45 degree so I can use a little more room. So I'm going to start, right foot sink down, left foot raise up, brush out here. Now the foot is going to drop. Look at my stance here. What a lot of times will happen is people will start shifting here to get their foot to drop. Don't do that. You want to start all the way back here. Let the foot drop first. Then move into neutral. See where my stance is? This is neutral. There's a little bit more weight on the back leg, but weight in the front too. That way, no one can push me from here. I'm solid. Then from here, I push a little bit more forward to get my knee, make sure it's a line, straight line up and down. And then I release the back leg by pushing, or not release, I push and straighten the back leg, pushing me at a small angle here. One straight line from the crown chakra to the heel. Now I bend the back leg to move forward. This brings my head up. I brush the ankle, kick out straight, step out, and down. Now from here, I'm going to put my foot down, push into neutral, push into plow oxen. Go ahead. And then away, all the way sideways so you can see my lean a little bit. So I started my 7-star. Foot comes down, push forward, and then push with the back leg. Boom. Now, if you notice, I'm at a lean here. This is that way when I do my push here, if I touch someone, you can get them, I really extend and throw them away. And then if I need to walk, boom, here, here. One move at a time. So why do we do this? Why do we hit neutral stance? Why do we move slow and make sure that we're hitting one kind of step at a time? It's very important because when we're in neutral, here, no one can push me. I'm sunk in. Hips are forward here, tucked, boom. I'm solid. This is a solid stance, but it takes a while to figure out how to get here. So when we move, one, you notice that? That makes me naturally sink a little bit. People forget to sink. Then you're here, boom. Now if I'm here and I need to push someone, I'm against them, I release that back leg, and there you go. So if I'm here, boom, you can shoot them off, right? I pull back, push. It all connects with this push here. Boom. That's how you really push someone. And then when we do it with our brush knee palm, so let's add the technique with the Tai Chi walk. So I'm going to start right foot, left foot out. Now I'm going to use my left hand. Let me go to the side first. That way you can see it from the side first. My left hand is going to stay out here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the bow back. This is my starting position for brush knee palm. Now I drop my front foot, move forward through neutral stance. Now I'm going to drop my arm, brush the knee. After I brush the knee, this hand is coming out all the way through neutral to plow oxen. And when we hit plow oxen, the palm turns here. So then to do it again, I just bend the back knee, pull the bow, and then I'm reset. Brush knee, palm. I'm a little too close. Here it is. And I pull back, brush knee, palm. Again, let's do it 3 times. Brush knee, palm. 2 more times. Pull the bow, brush knee, palm. Ooh, my legs are starting to feel it. This is my 3rd class for the day, and my legs are just really feeling it. One more time. Brush knee, palm. Good. I'll do it forward a couple times. That way you can see it from a forward direction. Now I'm going to do my other side because my right leg is just really starting to give out from all the workouts today. So I'm going to start in a 7-star position and make sure that we're not here. If you're here, you don't have room to move. You're on that tight rope. You want to be in there each lane with your pelvis facing forward here. Now the pelvis is going to do some small movement here. When we push in, there's that little lock in there, closing the quad. This side stretches. Then we pull back, this side stretches, this side closes. So now right hand up, left hand, we're going to pull the bow, drop my front foot, move forward through neutral. This hand starts to pull down. Reach out, palm. And you can't really tell with the camera, but there is a lean here. I am leaning forward. Pull back, head comes up. Now the right arm is going to go forward as the left hand pulls back to pull the bow again. Drop and palm. And pull back. Let's do this 3 times on this side. 1, brush knee, palm. 2, brush knee, palm. Nice and smooth. Form doesn't have to be perfect yet. We're just making sure we start to understand the movement. Good. Now, if you ever do want to move forward, you can do this as moving forward. So I just bend the knee, switch my stance, and I pull the other hand up. Then I can brush knee, palm this way. Good. So those are our 2 staples of Tai Chi, right? There's the cloud hands, which is actually a really good stress relief technique. I do this one anytime I'm starting to have a little bit of a panic attack, anxiety, anything like that. I do cloud hands to single whip, which as I do more and more Tai Chi, and every year passes by of more in Tai Chi and Qigong, my stress and anxiety has gone away. Um, so then there's cloud hands, and then there's brush knee palm with the Tai Chi walk. So you can do brush knee palm, brush knee palm, or you can do brush knee palm walking. Brush knee palm 1, brush knee palm 2, brush knee palm 3. Now make sure you go slow, listen internally, work on astral projection, which is just your body moving 3 inches, or I'm sorry, an inch to 6 inches before you actually move. You're just thinking about having, what I do is I visualize a spirit person of me moving ahead of me. And then, yeah, I hope to see you all next time. I'll be releasing a schedule here soon on all of my classes that I'm going to be doing live on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. All of that schedule is coming up in the next week. I also have a coaching program that if you're interested in, we go through deep dives of Tai Chi, Qigong. We lose weight while we're building our internal power. All right, I hope you have a wonderful day. If you want, you can bow. Take care.